What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Johnny K Picks. And in this video, I will be going over my full card picks and predictions, along with the bets that I am looking for UFC Vegas 73 Dern versus Hill. Now, first things first, like always, please hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or if you just haven't yet, and click on those notifications so you get notified when I put out my new videos, or if we do live streams, or if we do fight companions like we did last Saturday at UFC Charlotte. We do those from time to time. Also, I do UFC box openings too whenever the UFC cards come out too. So definitely click those notifications. It is worth your while. All right. UFC Charlotte, where to begin? That was such a little treat for all of us here. Let's see here. I'll start out with my picks. So, did okay. Ended up going 7-4 on my picks, and for my bets, I will say it was not a good night. I had 6 bets. I only won one of them, and I ended up losing minus 2.06 units on the night. So another kind of rough night. A lot of weird stuff happened. And we'll go through all the craziness because, like I said, there was a couple little crazy things that happened. So it started off, we had Lisboa versus Jessica Rose Clark. Lisboa looked great in all 3 of her rounds. Eventually got the rear naked choke in the 3rd round, almost got to decision, but she got the sub, and that will be fight number 3 in a row that Jessica Rose Clark lost by decision. I do not think she may not be in the UFC anymore. I'm sorry, fellas. It's just I don't think she's that good. And I said that in my breakdown video. On paper, she should have won this fight, but there's just something about her where you just can't trust her. And exactly right there. Brian Battle versus Gabe Green, probably one of the weirdest game plans for a fight I've ever seen in the UFC in a long time. Gabe Green's never done what he did. That's not the style he is. He's not like a Matt Frivola or something like that where he goes all crazy. And he did exactly that, and he got caught. 14 seconds in that fight. Brian Battle won that fight. So good win from Brian Battle. He won in his hometown. Gabe Green, I don't know what you're doing, man. Don't do that again. That's all I'm gonna say. Next crazy fight that happened where it was just, I want to say, a shit show. Mandy Bohm versus Kim. I don't know what Kim was thinking. 2 points deducted. Mandy Bohm is not good. Kim, honestly, we even with those 2 points deductions, I think Kim should have won this fight. I think she should have won by technical split decision, or even just a technical decision. I think Kim won the first round. She hurt her in the first round, or Mandy in the first round. She got some good control time. Mandy didn't do too much in the whole fight other than get hit in the eye, and that's about it. And said she couldn't go on because she probably knew she was up 2 points in the 3rd round. So she got the win. Good win from her. She probably needed it because she probably would have been cut. But honestly, I'd still cut her too. And I would probably cut Kim for that performance because that was just awful. And she's a veteran, and that shouldn't have happened. Another weird one here. Andrade versus Stamen. Very close fight overall. Andrade looked good, landed the good shots. Stamen did good in the 3rd round. I thought he won the 3rd round for sure. Rounds 1 and 2 were close. I know Andrade was up on the striking numbers, but what gets me here is in the 1st round, Cody had good position. He was in top control. Andrade literally kicked him in the face. The ref stopped it. Didn't take a point even after the Mandy Bohm debacle of 2 points taken. Didn't take a point, kept him on the feet. Even Stamen was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I was like that too. That probably cost him the 1st round, Stamen, because it was such a close round. If he would have held, Andrade on the mat for the remainder of that round, which I believe it was like a minute and a half or so, I think he probably would have won that round even more. I mean, I still thought Cody won 29-28, but it is what it is. Weird events. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. Carl Williams is just not that great, but luckily for him, Chase Sherman is not good at all. So weird, crazy, unanimous decision fight. Nothing, kind of a boring fight, if you want to say. Matt Brown versus Court McGee. Court McGee was looking real good till he wasn't, and I think that chin is dust. Matt Brown got the knockout. I think he's tied for most knockouts in the UFC now, so good for him. And he's still gonna give it a go. I think he's gonna go at least 1 or 2 more times, so good for him. Next one, Morono versus Tim Means. I think Tim Means is done as well. He looked really rough, even though Morono looked rough at the weigh-ins, but he still got the submission and good win from him. Holberg versus Eeyore. Holberg has that death touch. I know I've said this before, but man, once he lands that left hook, it's over. Like it's like a Alex Pereira left hook, man. So good win from him. This is how I think everyone literally saw this fight happening that way. It was like the one thing on this card that actually happened how everyone thought it would. Gary versus D-Rod. I will admit here I had Gary winning. I thought it was going to be a very close fight, go to decision. Nope. Gary got that knockout, and I think D-Rod's done. Another one. Like I wasn't I thought Gary was gonna win because he was the younger guy, he was gonna be quicker with the strikes, and you could totally see he was. He just landed and, D-Rod and he couldn't recover, so usually he's pretty durable, so time's not right to fade Gary, and honestly, I don't know if there will be now because he's looking way better in every fight, and this isn't a Patty fade. Gary might be the real deal, guys, and I was on the train of fading Gary 1 fight. And I knew this wasn't the fight, even though it would be close, but man, we'll see what happens next with him. But he's gonna be ranked now. So Johnny Walker versus Anthony Smith. Good win from Johnny Walker. He looked good, composed, and it went to decision. He could have got a finish if he really went for it, but I think he played it smart and didn't because he knew he was up on the scorecards. Because sometimes when he does go for it, and when he gets his opponents hurt, then he ends up getting hurt. You saw that in the Span fight. So good. I'm okay with Johnny Walker doing it that way. I mean, he's a mythical fighter now with not being on CBD and all that stuff. So good win from him. Probably the best win he's got. So, and then Almeida just destroyed Rosenstruck. We all knew that was going to happen. I mean, Rosenstruck had a puncher's chance, but I don't even think he was able to throw a punch in this fight. So maybe he didn't have a chance. So good win from Almeida. That's how he wins. Gets the first round takedown and either submission or ground and pound, and then Rosenstruck gave up the neck instead. So, like I said, overall, pretty decent card. Early on, though, the first 4 fights were crazy, but it is what it is. Ended up going 7-4 on my picks. So, not the worst, not the greatest. And here's my bets. Like I said, minus, I don't know if you guys can see it, minus 2.06 units. So, had the D-Rod plus 3.5. I thought that would go to decision. Stamen I had winning. I mean, I thought that was kind of BS, but it is what it is. I had the D-Rod Gary fight to start round 3 because I really didn't think it was going to be in the first round. Gabe Green to start round 2. That was a crap show. And then Jenny Walker and Smith fight doesn't go the distance, and it almost didn't. But either way, I would have lost that. So it is what it is. But all right, guys. UFC Vegas 73 Dern Hill. Let's go down to the bottom and see what's going on. So, um, had a couple fight cancellations. It should have been Raquel Pennington versus Aldana, but Aldana's moving on up to fight Nunez because Pena got hurt. Ducote was supposed to fight Polyana, but Polyana withdrew. But I think this Clayton Carpenter fight is actually canceled just fairly recently. And that's really about it. And then this fight, was rescheduled. So let's go to the first one. Sato versus Themba Gorimbo. Sato is 16-6, 32 years old, 5'10 with a 73-inch reach, and Gorimbo is 10-4, 32 years old, 6 foot, and it will just say 76.5-inch reach. How about that? So Sato, he's a solid striker with good volume. He has decent power in his hands. He has good kicks. He's kind of hittable on the feet at times. And he doesn't really wrestle or grapple, so and his takedown defense is just okay. So he's basically a striker. If he does get taken down, it's usually not a good sign for him because I mean he can survive, but he doesn't have a really good get up game. Gorimbo, he's a solid striker himself. He stays at range very well, but he's well rounded. He's got good grappling, pretty good wrestling. He's got a lot of submission wins in his career. I believe it's like 7 or 8, something crazy. 6 submissions. He lost twice by submission. He only has 1 knockout. So he has more finishes by submission, but he is well rounded. and he showed pretty good grappling in the AJ Fletcher fight until he got guillotined. So I wouldn't be too worried about that happening in this fight. But this is a to start the night off. I'm gonna go with the underdog, and I think he's a slight underdog at the moment, even though it says pick him right here. And I'm gonna go with Gorimbo. I think he's a little bit he's well rounded enough. I think on the feet he'll be able to give him Sato some problems with his range, and I think he can work in the wrestling if he wants to, and I think he's gonna be the better grappler for sure if he gets his fight to the mat. So I think there's more paths to victory for him. I think Sato's path to victory obviously is gonna be outstriking Gorimbo, maybe getting the knockout, but I think Gorimbo can take this fight to the mat if he wants to, or if he's having trouble on the feet, or he can probably strike with him, and it'll be a close decision if it goes that way. I don't think Sato's gonna be able to knock him out. I just haven't been too impressed with Sato as of late. And I know, like I said, I'm not saying Gorimbo is the next champion, but I like what I saw until he got submitted from AJ Fletcher. So with my pick, give me Gorimbo. I'm gonna say he wins this one later in the fight. I'm gonna say he gets a submission because Sato has been submitted a pretty decent amount of times in his career. 3 times he's been submitted and he lost. So half of his fights he lost, he's been submitted. And I'll say he gets that done in the second round. How about that? For my bets, if I'm looking at this, I mean to pick them. So if you like either guy, obviously I think that's a good bet. I'm gonna watch the line here. Look at the unders maybe. Garimbo's been has he been knocked out before? He's only been knocked out once. So the under maybe because like I said, Garimbo's pretty good. Or if you like the over, I think I may just stay away. And if I don't, it'll just be a money line bet, maybe on Garimbo or just stay away. I wouldn't touch the over unders because I can see it go either way now that I'm talking about it. Next one's going to be Victoria Leonardo versus Natalia Silva. Leonardo is 9-4, 33 years old, 5'5", 64-inch reach. And Silva is 14-5-1, 26 years old, 5'4", with a 65-inch reach. So Leonardo, she's an okay striker, okay grappler. She's got pretty good wrestling and takedown. She's very really good in the clinch, very strong, durable. She likes to push forward to try to set up her takedowns. A lot of her takedowns she gets is up against the cage. She really doesn't do something amazing if you want to say, but she's not awful, if you want to say, but she's just one of those fighters. Silva, though, super well-rounded fighter. Very good striking with good power in her hands. She's got good lateral movement along the cage. She showed that in her fight against Jasmine. Um, she's got very good grappling too. She does want to keep this fight on the feet. On her last couple fights, for her size, she's very strong. She has very good takedown defense, especially when she's up against the cage. And good submissions too. So she's very well rounded, very dangerous everywhere too. And honestly, guys, this is a no brainer pick. It's Silva all day. I know her money line is more than minus 550. It's probably around minus 700 now. You can throw her in parlays. I think this is super, super safe, but I mean, I think I'm gonna try to find a angle as the props come out to lower that number down. I might find maybe like a same game parlay to where she's almost even money and just load up on that. She's the way better fighter in this fight, though. Everywhere, I think she's better. I think she's gonna get the finish in the second or third round. I will say by knockout. Though I will say, let's see. It's Leonardo. She's been knocked out 3 times, so I think Silva can definitely find the knockout on the feet here. She's gonna be quicker, more power, more explosive. Give me Silva all day. Like I said, for my bets, I mean, you could throw her the money line for her in a parlay if you want. Inside the distance props, I'm gonna look for that too. If it's close to plus money, I think that's a good bet. And maybe look at the under if it's close to plus money too. Next one is gonna be Chase Hooper versus Nick Fiore. Hooper is 11-3-1, 23 years old, 6'1", 74-inch reach. And Nick is 6-1, 25 years old, 5'10", with a 72-inch reach. So Hooper, we all know, is a very good grappler. Um, his striking and wrestling is still a work in progress. He's moving up to lightweight. This is a lightweight fight. So normally he's been fighting at featherweight. So that's something you can to think about too. And that's really about it. I mean, he's got good cardio. He does slow down a little bit as the fight goes on, but if he's grappling, he has like a different kind of cardio when he grapples. It's a little bit better. But if he's on the feet, he's just got nothing, man. Nothing. And Nick, he's a solid grappler himself. His striking is just pretty it's okay. It's better than Hooper's, I'll say that. His takedowns are pretty decent as well. He has good cardio. He showed that in his last fight we took on short notice against Rubeski, and that fight to unanimous decision. He's durable, and he's tough. So I like Fiore here. I think he's gonna get this one done. I just Hooper needs to fight someone who's not a good striker at all. And I think Fiore can keep this fight on the feet because Hooper's takedowns are not great. I think his only way to win this fight is to control Nick for 15 minutes and win by decision because I don't think he's going to be able to submit him. And yeah, Nick's easiest path to victory here is keep this fight on the feet and outstrike him, and he will. He'll have more power. I think his striking is more technical. I think he um has the straighter shots too. Chase throws a lot of looping hooks, and he leaves his head open for shots to be countered with. So give me Fiore to win. I'm gonna say he wins by decision. I don't think he's gonna be able to knock out Chase. I think he's gonna want to play this one a little bit safer. But bets though, I think Fiore is a good bet. If you like Chase, I mean, you could play the money line to pick him now. So I think the line's flipped. So maybe Fiore is like a minus 120 favorite now. So might want to grab that early right now. Other than that, I would stay away from the over unders, maybe a lean towards the over, but I would just do a money line here. Next one is going to Eor Latifa versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Latifi, let me say Latifa. Latifi is 16 and 8, 40 years old now, 5'10 with a 75-inch reach. And Nascimento is 9 and 1, 30 years old, 6'2 with an 80-inch reach. So the much bigger fighter here. So we all know Latifi is a wrestler, and that's about it. Super low volume on the feet. He does have power if he lands, but man, he's gonna land about maybe 10 or less strikes for 3 rounds if it goes for 3 rounds, that's about it. He slows down as the fight goes on. His takedowns are pretty decent though, and once he gets on top, it's literally lay and pray and a little bit of ground and pound and tough guard. That's about it. That's his style. Nascimento is a very good grappler. He's got solid striking on the feet and good takedowns too. He's definitely gonna be the more dangerous guy for sure. I would even say on the feet and on the mat. Um, Nascimento, like I said, he's a grappler. He's got good submissions, and he's got 6 submission wins and 2 knockouts. And I want to say Latifi has never been submitted, and he has never been submitted, but he has 5 submission wins too. So I'm gonna go Nascimento here. I can't pick a 40-year-old wrestler that has 0 volume on the feet, and all he wants to do when he if he does get a takedown is lay and pray. And Nascimento off his back is pretty good, so he'll always try to work for, submissions and reverses and sweeps and all that stuff. He's gonna have the 7-inch reach advantage that's also gonna or I'm sorry, 5-inch reach advantage, so that's gonna be a big part there. And, yeah, I like Nascimento to win. I'm gonna say he wins this one by decision because Latifi is tough, and I don't think he's gonna get submitted, and Nascimento is not the greatest knockout guy, but I'm not saying he can't knock out Latifi, but I'm gonna go with, Nascimento to win by decision. If over is set at 1.5, I'm gonna go for the over for bets. Nascimento, maybe throw him in a parlay. I think that's safe. Mm. And that's yeah, that's what I got here for the bets, though. It's over 1.5, I'm gonna definitely pick that over 1.5, though. Next one's gonna be, Orin, Kosuke, sorry, versus Gilbert Urbina Kosuke, 11 or 8 and 1. 28 years old, 5'11", 71-inch reach, and Urbina, 6 and 2, 27 years old, 6'3", 74-inch reach. So Kasuke is a pretty good grappler and wrestler. He's really strong. He has power in his hands early in the first round, mind you. Not technical whatsoever on the feet, though, but his cardio fades after the first round. And in the third round, basically, he's just surviving at that point. But he's very strong, like I said, very durable. He's got power. He has really good ground and pound if he does get the fight to the mat. Urbina, though, he's a solid grappler, okay striker on the feet. He does throw a lot of volume, but he's very hittable as well on the feet. Cardio's decent. Chin, he's been knocked down, but he's gotten back up and all that good stuff. And he hasn't been knocked out, I don't believe, in his career. He's only been submitted. Yeah, he's been submitted once, but he did get like a club and sub that against Battle. So at least I think it was, if I remember correctly. And his takedown defense is not good at all. So I think Kosuke can definitely get those takedowns early. But this is such a weird fight. And the way I see this happening, it's going to be Kosuke early for sure. And then if Kosuke cannot get him out of there, Urbina may take over in like rounds, late second round and third round, because like I said, Kosuke just slows down after a round and a half for sure. But I'm going to go with Kosuke. I think he has that potential to get the knockout here. I don't think Urbina is going to be able to knock out or submit Kosuke, unless he's just death gassed in the third round and maybe a rear naked choke. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he survives. I think if Oren's ever going to, if Kosuke is ever going to get in trouble, he's going to go for those takedowns and get those takedowns because Urbina's takedown defense, like I said, not good whatsoever. Bets, though, I would stay away from this fight 100%. I don't like anything at all. Maybe the under. I could see that, but Kosuke's last fight against Blood Diamond, I thought that was gonna be an easy under, and it went to decision. So give me Kosuke. I'm gonna say he gets the knockout, but I'm not betting this fight whatsoever. This is very low level. Next one here. I'm gonna butcher this name like I usually do. It's gonna be Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Something like that versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Carolina is 14 and 7, 37 years old, 5'3", 64-inch reach. And Vanessa 9 and 4, 34 years old, 5'2", with a 59.5-inch reach. Under 60 inches there. So Carolina is a solid striker with good volume. Doesn't really have a ton of power, but she's got good straights right down the middle. She's shown some decent grappling in her last couple wins. And she's got good takedown defense, and, about it. That's about where she's at. She's a pretty solid fighter. 37 years old nowadays, so she's getting up there a little bit. Demopoulos, though, is a very good grappler with very good submissions. Her striking is okay. She does like to push forward, and she's very tough. In her last fight against Maria Oliveira, she was very aggressive. She pushed forward. She got some good takedowns, and she showed some good wrestling. And I like seeing what I saw from there. I don't think that fight was a close fight, but she couldn't get the takedowns there as she was on the feet for the majority of that fight. Um, this is another interesting close fight, and I can kind of see it go either way, but I'm gonna go with the fighter that I've been a little more impressed with lately, and that's gonna be Vanessa Demopoulos. Now she's the underdog, plus 125. I think she'll be able to work in some grappling and wrestling, and even on the feet. I mean, I would give the slight edge to Carolina, but I do think Vanessa can hold her own on the feet, and she can mix it up whenever she wants. So that might, you know, cause some confusion if you wanna say, or be very ti for Carolina or timid to be aggressive and go for, like, striking because she's afraid of maybe getting taken down. But I do see this fight going to decision. I think it's gonna be a close one again, but give me the underdog in this fight. Women's MMA underdogs have been killing it. This is a very close fight that I can see go either way. So give me Vanessa to win. I'm gonna say by decision. Bets. I mean, if you like either fighter, I would go the underdog here with Vanessa. I think she has a shot. Definitely the over. I like for sure. I'm gonna see where the over's at. Maybe see what that's gonna be the price for a parlay, but I wouldn't mind anybody taking a shot on Vanessa. The plus 125 range. Okay, next one, Maheshate versus Slava Claus. Here we got Mahashate's 9 and 2, 23 years old, 6 foot, 71.5-inch reach, and Slava Claus 6 and 3, 31 years old, 5'11", 69-inch reach. So Mahashate is a very solid striker with good power in his hands. He can be hittable at times on the feet. He's not really super accurate with his strikes, but he does have power and he can get the knockout shot. He's got some spinning elbows and all that good stuff. He doesn't really grapple or wrestle, but he can be taken down. But this fight's gonna be a all-out striking fight because no one's gonna go for takedowns. But if somebody does, it might be Maheshate, I will say that. Borshchev, he he's a very good striker himself, very technical kickboxing, good kicks, good body shots with good liver punches. Um, when he does get in the brawl, sometimes he does get caught. Yeah. But other than that, he can be taken down fairly easily, but he has a very solid get up game. He does not accept being on the mat, so he will work to get up as quickly and as much as possible. But like I said, I think this is going to be a striking fight for the majority of it. And I'm going to go Slava Claus here. I think he's the more technical striker. He's going to have I think he's going to have um I I think I like it. I just like I said, I just like his striking more so. I'm not the biggest Mahashati fan. I just his striking is too it's not as technical for me to think he's gonna win this fight because I maybe he has to work in some takedowns here because I don't think he's gonna be able to win on the feet for 3 rounds. And though he is tough and durable, Mahashati, I can see like a knockout from Slava Claus though. Maybe he works the body, maybe he gets that liver shot, maybe he gets a like a head kick out of nowhere or something like that. But this is going to be a good fight. But give me Slava Claus to win. I just think he's a little bit more experienced with the striking battles and kickboxing and all that stuff. And bets though, um, man, I don't know. It's going to be a close fight. If you like Slava, maybe throw like a knockout prop in or the under 2.5 or fight doesn't go. But should be a fun fight. I think I may just stay away from this one though. Next one, we got the main card, Michael Johnson versus Diego Ferreira. Johnson is 21 and 18, 36 years old, 5'10, 73.5 inch reach. And Diego is 17 and 5, 38 years old, 5'9 with a 74-inch reach. So this is going to be a very, very fun fight. Johnson, very solid boxer with good hands, good power, good good counters and good hooks, good takedown defense. When he does get taken down, though, grapplers seem to be able sometimes they basically outwork him and get the submission wins. He's got a lot of submission losses in his career. Michael Johnson does. He does have some wrestling he can use, but he mainly keeps it on the feet. He does have some questionable moments in his career in some of those fights, but lately he's been looking pretty good. The Malarkey fight, that's very, very questionable loss there. He might have won that fight. I will say I think I even had Malarkey to win, but he beat Diakese and he also beat Patrick's not a very good win. But he's looking pretty good lately. Diego Ferreira, well-rounded guy. He's more so a grappler for sure. Submit and with submission, good submissions. His striking is pretty solid on the feet, though. He's gonna need to get this fight to the mat, though. Let's be honest. I think Johnson's gonna be the better striker here. Um, I kind of been going back and forth here. This is a very close one, but I'm gonna go ever so slightly on the Johnson side. It's very hard to fully trust him, but I think he gets it done. I think he stuffs the takedowns. I think Diego is gonna have no other choice but to keep it on the feet, and I think Johnson will be able to outstrike him and maybe get a late KO, like late second round or third round KO or a decision win. So yeah, get with my pick. Give me Johnson. I'm gonna say he wins by KO. Why not? Let's go for it. This is gonna be one of those cards. I think it's gonna be crazy, full of unders and finishes and stuff. It's at the apex too. So that's Johnson money line. He's a dog. So I think that's a good bet. And look at the unders. Why not? As if maybe Fiore gets a submission. So I think that's about what's gonna happen here. Johnson knockout or Diego submission if you can get that grappling and wrestling going. Another interesting, crazy fight that probably will not go to decision. Andre Fialho versus Joaquin Buckley. Fialho is 16 and 6, 29 years old, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach. And Buckley is 15 and 6, 29 years old, 5'10 with a 76-inch reach. So Fialho is a very powerful striker. He does have good leg kicks, he's mainly a boxer. He's pretty tough, he's durable, he's got a good chin. He can be hittable on the feet. A lot of times he does like to get in the brawls and he can get caught, but usually he's the one getting the knockouts. But lately, Jake Matthews knocked him out pretty bad, and Salikov also knocked him out pretty bad. So his chin's not really doing him any favors lately, but I still think he's durable. His cardio is pretty good, and he's very powerful on the feet. Buckley, also very powerful as well, striker. He's very athletic. He does have some wrestling in his back pocket that he could use. He does slow down as the fight goes on as well. This is gonna be his first fight at welterweight. He normally fights at middleweight, so that's something to really think about. Maybe look at him on the scales if you wanna bet Buckley. I would be very cautious. 15 pounds less than he's used to, so, again, this is another interesting close fight. I do think this fight's not gonna go to decision. One of these guys is gonna knock out each other. But I think I trust Fialho's chin a little bit more, and I do think this is gonna be a firefight early and often. Someone's going down. But I'm gonna go with the underdog here, and I'm another reason why too, like I said, Buckley's first fight at welterweight. I don't know how his chin's gonna look. I don't know his cardio is how it's gonna look after a while, and he might miss weight, all that stuff put together. So give me Fialho as the underdog here. Bets, I'm gonna look at the unders for sure. Definitely unders. Maybe fight to end by knockout is another one to look at for a parlay piece. And if you like Fialho knockout. I think that'll be a very juicy prop. He's already the dog. Maybe it's gonna be plus 250 range or more. So if you like Buckley, though, wait to the weigh-ins. That's all I'm gonna say. Just see if you like what you see and then still want to bet him. I think there's gonna be some money coming in on Fialho. That's just my personal opinion. Next one, Emily Ducote versus Lupita Godinez. Ducote is 12-7, 29 years old, 5'2", 63-inch reach. Godinez, 9-3, 29 years old, 5'2", with a 61-inch reach. So Ducote is a solid striker. She's got okay power in her hands. She's got good leg kicks. She does have some wrestling and grappling that she can use, but we haven't really seen it in the UFC yet. She's just mainly been striking on the feet. Um, yeah, she's pretty solid everywhere though. Godinez, we know Loopy, good old Loopy. She's taking this fight on short notice that she's done before. She's a very good wrestler with good takedowns when she shoots for takedowns. Her striking, okay. It's not awful, but it's not great. She's very strong, very tough in the clinch. She can be hittable on the feet, and lately, questionable fight IQ does not use her wrestling, and she is a wrestler. And if she does, she just goes for like a couple half-ass takedowns, and if she's not even remotely close, she just stops going for takedowns, and I don't get it. Don't get it whatsoever. It's so mind-boggling here. But this is going to be a close fight on paper, but Loopy's been so unreliable. I cannot pick her this time. I'm gonna go with the dog, and I'm gonna go with Ducote. I think this fight will be mainly played out on the feet. Ducote's takedown defense is pretty solid, and once she stuffs one, maybe two takedowns early, this is gonna be a striking fight. And if this is a striking fight, I like Ducote's chances a lot more. So with my pick, give me Ducote to win this one by decision. Bets Ducote as the underdog. Very, very good bet, I think. The overs, I think, are gonna be good as well. Even Godinez, if she does get some takedowns, she's not a finisher, but she's tough, she'll hang in there, and so is Ducote. Ducote is tough too, so I think the over is a very good parlay piece here too, but I like the dog to win this one. Women's MMA dogs are a bargain this year. Co-main event time, we got Edmund Shahbazyan versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Edmund, 12-3, 25 years old, 6'2", with a 74-inch reach. And Hernandez is 10-2, 29 years old, 6 foot, 75-inch reach. Shahbazyan is a very good striker with power in his hands. Got good kicks. Takedown defense, no bueno. Not good still. He does have some wrestling and takedowns that he could use, but I don't think he's gonna wanna do that in this fight because his grappling and submission defense and get up game is not good at all. Hernandez is a very good grappler with very good submissions. He does have decent takedowns. Sometimes he has to work for them, but he continues to go for them. He doesn't stop. He's got very, very, very good cardio. His striking isn't good, but his game plan is this: get this fight to the mat and grapple and wrestle and get that submission. He doesn't want to stick around the feet too much. And that's the difference between Anthony Hernandez and Lupi Godinez. But let's go to this fight. We're not talking about Lupi anymore. I like Hernandez here. I like his game plan. You know what you're gonna get from him, and that's grappling and wrestling and going for submissions. And what's Edmund's weakness? Defensive grappling, takedown defense, and any sort of wrestling and grappling whatsoever. He wants to keep this fight on the feet. So if he keeps it on the feet, I think Edmund probably will win this fight, but I do not think that's gonna happen. I think Hernandez will get those takedowns early and eventually get a submission, I wanna say in the second round, or it's gonna be a very dominant decision, 30-27. So with my pick, give me Hernandez, and I'm gonna go submission. I think I originally said decision when I was thinking about it earlier, but I'm gonna go submission, second round. Bets, I like Hernandez in, money line in a parlay, and if you think it's gonna end, Edmund has a chance to knock him out. So, the under might be a good look here. If not, Hernandez is gonna submit him, I think. I think I did say decision earlier on, but when I was doing my breakdowns and watching tape, but I'm gonna go submission. I just said it right now. Why not? That's about all I would look though. Just the unders and Hernandez money line. Come on. All right, main event, which was supposed to happen last week at UFC Charlotte. Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. Dern is 12 and 3, 30 years old, 5'4", 63 inch reach. Hill 15 and 12, 38 years old now, 5'3", 64.5 inch reach. So this was supposed to be a 3-round fight. Now it's the main event. Now it's a 5-round fight. And let's go over again. Everybody knows who Mackenzie Dern is. She's an amazing grappler, probably one of the better grapplers in the UFC, but her bugaboo is her takedowns. She can't get the fight to the mat to save her life. Her striking, though, has been improving. It's not going to be up to par against Angela Hill's striking, though. So I do think Dern's going to need to try to mix in some takedowns. I do think she may be a little bit stronger up against the cage, but man, she could just never get those takedowns. And Angela Hill's takedown defense is pretty decent. But Hill is a very good striker, high volume, good defensive grappling if she does get to the mat or get taken down. But Dern is on another level. Her takedown defense, like I said, isn't bad at all, but she's durable and solid cardio for 5 rounds. And Mackenzie Dern's been in 5-round fights before. I think she lost to Marina Rodriguez a 5-round fight. I think that was a 3-round fight, and I do believe I can't remember if that was a 3 or 5-round fight. Well, either way, but she's been in 5-round fights, so she knows. So, last week when I did this breakdown, I was torn. I did go with Dern. I think she's the more dangerous fighter here. I was scared though because 3 rounds isn't a lot of time for Dern, but now this is a 5-round fight. You're gonna give 2 more rounds to Dern. I'm still picking Dern because and now I'm a little bit more comfortable because you're gonna have more time to get that takedown, hopefully, and hopefully get a submission because I do not think she's gonna win a decision against Hill. I think Hill's gonna be able to outstrike her, but um, yeah, I think Dern will eventually get the submission win here because I'm gonna go with Dern. I think it's gonna be submission from Dern or Hill decision. So however you want to look at it this way. Bets, like I said right there, I wouldn't do an over, I wouldn't do an under. Just do Dern submission or Hill decision. I think that's the way you do it here. Give me Dern by submission. She's got 5 rounds to do it. I think she could do it. And that is a oh, yep, that is it, guys. So thank you for watching and hanging out with me while I break down these fights. Be sure to hit that like button. Like I said, comment below on your picks, on your bets. Who do you like here? Who do you don't like? Tell me some bets that or picks that you think I'm way off. And I always love interacting with all you guys, even if it's negative whatsoever. It's all good. Also, be sure to be on the lookout for me and Cody's live stream. It's going to be Thursday this week, as usual, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I do have a couple UFC card videos I have to edit and put up, so I might put up both of them sometime this week. And I got a couple good hits in there, so definitely check out those. Like I said, turn on those notifications so you know when those come out. I'm not sure what day I will put those out, but like I said, thank you guys for watching all that great stuff. Until next time, be safe.